All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Card Hedge podcast. I'm Omar, aka Retro Hoops. I got my man JD from JD Sports Cards in the house. What's happening, bro?
What's up, fella? How you doing?
I'm running a freaking daddy daycare over here, man. So if you guys, this is going to be one of those episodes where my kids will bust in here because my wife's out of town this week or for the rest of the weekend. So my kids are running around there somewhere. I think I got an iPad in a few of their faces. One of them's playing Fortnite. So
Yep.
I think we'll be good for a little bit, but I told them don't come in here unless you're bleeding.
You hear something break? Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get up. I totally get it, man.
The good thing is that we have a guest today.
Yes.
So we have some really cool stuff to talk about. I will let you go ahead and give the intro because it was you who brought it up in his website and his service and everything up on the podcast. I think it was a couple episodes ago where we were kind of going through it, and then I said, you know what? I think the best thing to do would be to reach out and try to get him on. And we did. You did. Yep. And he's here. So I'll let you go ahead and make the intro on that.
Yeah, sure. So, I've talked on my site a couple times, definitely, on Instagram, things like that, and people that want to listen and whatever. But I came across this site called mycardpost.com. Started chatting with somebody from the site at the time. I didn't know who it was. Turned out to be our guest who actually created the site. Super chill guy. At first, I thought it was kind of just like a straight hockey card site, which really kind of appealed to me. When I get on the site and, there was a promo going on. I still think there's a promo going on, but we can talk about that. I think the big thing that attracted me to it, it has the trading option.
Nice.
To the site, so it's not just buy and sell. Yeah, and as I've been trying to do more trading, I was like, you know what, I'll give this a shot. I don't have to send my cards anywhere, blah blah blah. And then the big bonus was I'm pretty sure my man's a big Bruins fan, so it's an automatic like 28 points in my corner. So without further ado, let's bring in Mark from My Card Post.
Hey guys,
what's up,
Mark? Great intro. Appreciate that. Yes, very much a Bruins fan. Very much so.
You're already a better American than 99% of people. So good for you.
You got one up on me for sure because I don't think I've been able to ever sit through an entire hockey game. But I'm from Texas though, so we don't. Football's our sport. We produce Super Bowl quarterbacks is what we do out here.
Right.
Wow. Eli Manning's from Louisiana. So.
So Louisiana is pretty much Texas. I mean, after Katrina happened, we
speak a lot of French in Texas.
We blended, and it was there's all kinds of crossbreeding going on there. I mean, people say that you gotta have a passport when you go from Texas to Louisiana, but once you get over there, it's the same people. Well, welcome, Mark. We appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we had we're having that conversation last time, a couple episodes back, where JD was about to give us the entire manifesto of the website, and he figured, you know what? How about we just try to get the guy himself on here? And so here you are.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of just start off really quick, introducing you, where you're from, your kind of your profile as a collector, and then how you got into collecting, and then how we'll ultimately move into how you set up the website, and then kind of go from there. So I'll let you kind of give a quick little intro.
Yeah, for sure. So, I live in California now, but being a Bruins fan, obviously, I'm originally from Boston, but I've been in California since about 2008. And like most people, the story is the same, right? I collected cards as a kid, but that was all the junk wax era, and then I went off to high school and college, and I kind of lost it. But I moved a lot, from Massachusetts. I've even moved a lot in California. I've always kind of kept this little box I've had of cards that were special to me as a kid. Ken Griffey Jr., Brett Hull, just these were some of the cards that I always had. And then, it was like maybe 3 or so years ago, my brother-in-law was over and kind of got me back into it. He started like talking about cards and some of the cards that he was buying, and started talking about the grading companies. And I was just immediately brought back to, the kid and the love and the passion for it. And of course, I immediately went and bought PSA 10s of all the cards I wanted, as a kid. and then lost a bunch of money on all of them, but that's fine.
That's how it works. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that was kind of the start of it. And then, just as I got back into it and the excitement of receiving cards and I knew immediately. I've always been entrepreneurial at heart, and I just knew immediately, like, this is something I want to be able to build a business around. And I came up with a bunch of terrible ideas to start, and I would bounce them off my brother-in-law, and we just go back and forth, and then it just hit me. Building a marketplace that kind of changed the model, that allowed us to do everything we love, right? We love to make relationships with each other, do deals with each other, all the things that people travel across the country to go to card shows to do, but we can't do it online. And that's when, kind of the subscription model approach just hit me. I was like, whoa, if it's not all about fees and making it as hard as possible for people to get to know each other so they don't take the deal off the platform, you just open up a world of opportunities for everyone, because it's no longer about the fees and the transaction. It's just, a
Build
place,
the community.
Exactly. A place where everyone can come together and do what we love.
Nice.
So
JD, what was, I'll turn to you, dude, because I think you were the one that kind of put me onto this. What was the big thing that brought you in and kind of got you moving around on that? Because you're pretty active on there.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, a couple of things, right? First thing is, anytime there's something new, I like to check it out, because I feel like, yeah, well, you do and you don't, because there's two sides to this, right? There's those that are kind of like me that are going to check something out, and if it's cool and it works, they're going to kind of go in, like, head first. And then there's other people that are going to sit there and I'm just doing eBay, or I'm doing this, or they have, they're set in their ways.
Right.
For me though, I thought I was looking for, like, the trading option. And when Mark and I started chatting on Instagram and whatnot, he's like, "Oh no, dude, we have the trading option and this, that." And I'm really trying to make it so it's guys can connect to each other and share social media things, and, like, there was no, like, hiding anything, right? Where I like that, because if like, Mark and I have done a few deals now together,
That's good.
and a lot of that has become like, yeah, all right, I've bought some cards from him and he sent them to me. But also, like, we're talking on the side, whether it's about Card Hedge, whether it's about my card post, bouncing questions off of each other. You get to, like you said in the beginning, you start to get to know someone. And I think then from there, it's like, hey, he posts a card that I'm like, oh, I'm interested in that. And it's like, you throw him an offer, and then, hey, he might be a little bit more kind of
lenient.
Lenient or whatever, or vice versa, like someone you're dealing with constantly. So yeah, I mean, I think that to me has been really cool. I like that option of being able to make connections. Like that's something that's lost in online land, right? eBay, the chats are, you can only type so much in a chat, and it gets kind of whatever.
Right.
Some of the other sites, you cannot message anybody, whether it's IDs or blind, or there's no chat option or message option. I just think it's really cool to get to know people, and, like, hey, what's your Instagram, so I can see what you're into, or
Right.
because then that way too, right? Like the cards I'm listing for sale or for trade, I mean, they're more for sale, but they're not like my, like, stuff, right? I don't even put my, like, stuff on eBay. But if I see, like, let's say I see Mark posting some stuff, like he just posted some ridiculous David Pasternak cards earlier today on Facebook. I'm like, all right, if I want to go get one of those, I'm gonna have to go into the vault and try to entice him here for some kind of trade,
Like, you need to pull out some stacks for those,
But I just think I just like the concept of it. And again, as someone who's now helped build a business of their own over the last few years and knows how hard it is.
Yeah.
You want to support good people.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's kind of where I'm at with this, So, yeah,
I think it's cool. Trade.
So, yeah,
you had me at trade. So,
oh, that's accurate. I mean, it was like this. It didn't exist, and that's what I found. I mean, I've come up with tons of ideas in my lifetime, and they always exist, right? This was like the one time where, like, this doesn't exist. There is no place or the sports card hobby online where you can make deals using cards
Yep.
and cash. And I understood why, because everyone was going down the fee-based path.
Yes.
And you have to protect the transaction. So you don't want people to get to know each other. And so it made sense, why it didn't exist. But
it's cool though too, right? Because we've become such a social media society. And I often think about this with your site, where I think it's genius the way you've promoted it and set it up, because
thank you.
even if the concept doesn't appeal to guys like us who are in our 40s, kids are going to eat this up.
Yes.
Because that's what they know. That's what they do. They live on social media.
Exactly.
Parents will tell you otherwise, but that's the truth of it.
Right.
And
Yeah,
a site like
whether we
this,
agree or not,
really helps, I think, maybe. And I don't even know if you thought about this, but those younger collectors, this is where they live. So they want to connect their Instagrams and their Snapchats and their websites and whatever else they got going on, their blogs, and you know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
it's just a cool concept of kind of that like social aspect of it all. Build off that. And again, like I said, I think it's something that is needed. And the other thing too is I don't have to send my cards to you.
Yeah.
I can just take a picture.
I tinkered with that idea in the early stages about, is this going to work? Are people going to send cards to each other? Maybe I need to be a middleman. And I didn't want to do that, of course, but that was something I thought that was going to be a flop. But then I got around to it. Like, look, everyone's doing this on social media today. They're already doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to just launch with, kind of what we have now. And man, people love it.
So let's talk about, like you mentioned at the beginning, the subscription model. So talk about that to the people that haven't heard of My Card Post. And, when they're going to get on, they hear no fees right away. So that's going to get ears like, what? No fees? But then you do have to pay, right? So talk about that.
Yeah. So the no fee thing, it's no like seller fees, no transaction fees, which is what everyone's used to, right? Like I sell something, someone's taking a cut. Whatever that cut is different. There's lots of different sites out there that take different cuts, but there's always a cut. For us, there is the subscription. Now, granted, we're very early, right? We just launched this thing like before Thanksgiving, right? And it's been very early. So yeah, there's lots of promo codes. You can join for free. We've discounted annual plans like ridiculous. Like you can pay like $16 for a whole year right now.
Right.
We've done all those things. So yeah, so the idea is simple, that you have a small fixed monthly subscription that pretty much pays for itself. If you sold one card for like $90, your subscription is paid for. Anything beyond that, and you're just in bonus territory.
Yeah.
Yes.
You do one trade with no money exchanging hands, again, the subscription is paid for itself.
Yep.
So there's that. The other thing, there are fees on the cash, but they're PayPal fees. I'm not taking those. It's just that's PayPal. You onboard with PayPal. That's what you're going to use to send and receive money.
Right.
So that part is there, but it is no seller fees, which
you're not taking anything on top of PayPal. In other words, is what you're saying.
Exactly right. You pay me. You just pay the fixed monthly rate. And there's a couple different tiers. There's 4 different tiers depending on how many cards you want on the site at any given time. And I find myself like, man, I've already for 2 months, I've already done like over 50 transactions, which is crazy.
Right.
But it's like I'm a power user. I have a lot of cards in there. So it does take the inventory for people to kind of send you offers, right? So yeah, I mean that's the idea. And with the subscription model, it just comes with everything else. Like you're able to unlock all of those other capabilities because again, the fees aren't getting tacked on.
And I think that's an interesting kind of for anybody out there listening that's thinking of starting their own business, right? This is the subscription model for a new platform, marketplace, company, whatever service really, I think, helps in the sense of you can offer the customer the no fees other than the PayPal stuff, like the transaction fee, but you're also getting a small revenue stream coming in as as more people come on, and you get that, whatever it is, for me, I think it's like $9.99 a month, and that allows me 50 listings a month, and I'm able to buy, sell, trade, and whatever. Right?
Yeah, that's what I just signed up for, the $9 a month.
And so, like, for hey, look, that's $90 a month for every 10 people, or $100 a month every time you get 10 people. That allows you to start putting money into an account that now you can go out and market, and now you can go out and do this and buy product that you can put on the site yourself, or so, like, to me, it's a very smart way to do this that ensures that there's going to be like steady growth. Because again, a lot of self-funded stuff, a lot of these companies that have borrowed money's not cheap to borrow anymore. So
definitely not.
You got to get creative, and let's be real too, right, Mark? Like, there's eBay's a monster to deal with that I don't think is worthwhile for any new marketplace to even say we're going to go out and compete with eBay. Like, you're not, right? Nobody's doing that. If you can, like, we were talking about this earlier today in our card hedge chat that we have. The idea is to be a successful, profitable business,
right?
And run a business that's right for us, for collectors, right? I'm guessing that you have that same mantra in your mind as well, especially the way you've set it up, because it is very collector centered, friendly, heavy, whatnot. Yeah. Those are the things that long term will have staying power, in my opinion, versus some of the these other things where technology is swell. It really is swell, but that human aspect, like us, we're from a different generation where being able to communicate with one another on multiple levels kind of matters. Where the younger generation, it's like, I'll just text you for my interview,
right. From the other room.
If the phone rings, they're like, what do I
do? So I thought like that piece was really tastefully done. So kudos to you on that, because it's definitely, you definitely can tell it's well thought out on that end. And I really like that for me, it checked all the boxes. And then it was for whatever reason, I don't know if it was intended to be like this, but it certainly started out very hockey heavy.
Which,
I'm on here looking at a Larry Bird that Mark has. That's right.
I just picked that up at a local card show, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, to your point. So I think a couple things. One, the other thing about the subscription model, it's actually totally free to join the site if you just want to be a buyer.
Yep.
If you just want to go in there and buy cards from people, it's free. It will always be free. In the subscription, it essentially is like a protection mechanism as well.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you want to sell and trade, that's that comes with the paywall, right? That comes with the subscription. So everybody knows that they're doing deals with other people who have also paid for the same privilege to do the deals.
Correct.
And the fact that with the subscription model means that you could fill your profile with everything about you, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, your eBay store, your ComC store, your MyStep store, all of these things, which are, your reputation that you've built up over years, is readily available for everyone to look and do due diligence on you.
Yep. And I like that piece too, because with the eBay, especially, most of us have been on eBay for a long time. Well,
right.
Yeah.
You have varying amounts of time, right? But that's a great spot to do your homework on someone and say, all right, like my dude's got 3 feedback. I don't know here.
92%.
But and I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I think that's a good reference point that you mentioned as well.
The idea was to be open. And the other thing is, like, I'm a collector. I was experiencing all the problems that I set out to solve, right? Like, I'm buying cards on eBay and trying to sell them for a profit and thinking like, oh my gosh, this thing has to appreciate like 40% for me to make $1, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It was impossible. And I can't trade, and you have to have this cryptic communication with someone. I mean, everyone's trying to get them off, and it's just, it was like so difficult. I'm like, why? This shouldn't be like this. We, this is a hobby. We love to talk to each other and get to know each other, connect with each other. And why can't we do this? And, outside of card shows, which everyone loves and they're amazing and they're fun. But you can only go to a card show once a week or once a month or once a year for some of these big ones, right? Now you can have a trade night every night on my card post. That was, again, really what I set out to build here.
Which is, again, fantastic. So let's talk about, what are some of your goals for the year? You know, where do you see the site 3 months, 6 months, a year out? Like, what are your goals as a company, as far as, you know, what people can expect from you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to reinvest. I mean, we're constantly adding, adding new features or fixing and tweaking workflows. Like I said, this is basically like a very early stage version of the product. There's so many hundreds of ideas that we have to build on that we'd love to add. An app, of course, is one. So, I mean, what you're first and
Yeah.
foremost, you're going to see that the site's going to continue to get better. And really, the biggest focus for us is like this marketplace is only as good as the community that's in it, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the cards. It's all about the members. The sellers are only going to come if there's buyers. The buyers are only going to come if there's sellers. So, I mean, I think there was another podcast that said it's the chicken and the egg. It absolutely is, right? So,
Yeah.
at this stage, it's really all about growth. We really just want to ramp up growth and, really encourage members who are doing deals and enjoying the platform to share it. Because it's one thing for me to come on here and say it, or for me to post something on Instagram and share how amazing the site is, but it's an entirely another thing if people are doing it. And so, I mean, that's really it. I mean, we just want to just keep growing the community and keep coming out with new features and getting to that point where, the platform is just living and breathing on its own and it's stable. And and we can go and invest in that app that everyone's looking for, because I want to have the app too, right? And it's a mobile friendly site, but we're all phone people, right? We all need apps. So
and we can, like, we've talked offline, or not offline, but off air, whatever. We can we're definitely glad to help you out with guidance on that piece if your questions, because we've lived a nightmare of who to avoid, and essentially we could have built the app on our own, and had it out 6 months ago. But it's definitely the app is
tribulations, right?
Which I think that's a great little segue for a shameless plug on our end.
That's right.
We did get a final approval today from Apple. So our app is going to be live sometime here in the next 7 to 10 days.
Very exciting.
Which is huge.
That's
huge,
awesome.
huge. This thing, Mark, like, not to take away from, why we're here, but we were promised this app last spring. Then we were promised it by the National. And then basically our other partner, River, just said, all right, guys, you suck. Give me what you've done, and I'm just going to do it myself. And that's what we did. And I've been using it for a few weeks in test mode, beta mode, whatever you call it in the nerd world. And
beta testing.
I'm pretty impressed with what we're going to put out. I'm excited, and I hope people like it. So anyway, that was my shameless plug.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I can't wait to have it, because I love I mean, we're all of us, right? We love the data, right? We need this data. The data is so important to making deals. And I mean, like I said, we've talked. It's like I look forward to us doing more stuff together, because there's a lot of really cool things that a marketplace like mine and the data that you guys have, once that marriage comes in, you guys already did it with Arena Club, right? Like that was it's like the same exact stuff that we want to roll out and bring.
We've been getting a lot of good feedback from that as well, from a user interface standpoint, that everybody's saying, wow, like this is making it so much easier. I don't have to try to formulate a deal on Arena, which also has the trade feature, and that, trying to do comps and seeing what should I offer him? This is an oddball card. I really don't know. What are the comps, whatever. And it just makes it so seamless to stay on that one app. And as you know, and as we all know, right? I mean, apps and websites, it's all about retaining that user on the site or on the app. And whenever I have to hop from one thing to another, I have severe ADHD. So if I'm on eBay to go check a comp, 9 times out of 10, I'm not coming out of eBay, because eBay does a really good job of bringing you into the website, holding you there, right? And I have 1,000 squirrel moments, right, while I'm in there. And then that's it. Next thing you know, I'm tired. I go to bed, and then I forget the next day. I go, oh crap! I actually went in there to check a comp and try to make a deal on Arena. And so having that data there, right at your fingertips on the same website while you're trying to make a deal is invaluable. It's
really
huge.
Great. And I see not even just making a deal, but like for so many people, like, what do I list this at? That's
the other thing too. Yeah, exactly.
You're not doing auctions, which is another thing I'd like to look at and consider down the road. But like when you're listing these fixed price cards, it's like you don't know, and it fluctuates all the time. So there's just so many different cool things that you can do when that data is just like readily available, like right there when you're listing a card. it's time consuming too, you know, to
It really is.
go research all these cards and try to figure out what to list it at.
Yeah. It's you know, it's one of those things where, you know, it's how do I want to say this? You know, I think the service we're providing some of these companies that we work with now, and there's a couple more in the pipeline, which is really cool. You know, it's interesting to see just how many people are in need of it, looking for clean data. You know, willing to, and they're willing to, when they find like someone like us who's kind of, we think doing it in a way that's clean and helpful for people, it just adds that much more value, you know. You know, so we're pumped with what we have going on, and you know, like I said, down the road with you guys, when that's ready to rock, that'll be cool. I actually, when we get done, remind me to message you, because I have another idea too.
All right, I love
which
ideas.
I think would be, I think it would be really cool. Something to think about, like, you know, down the road, but it would be cool. So anyway, you know, let's talk about your collecting. What are your sports? What's your thing?
Yeah, so you mentioned kind of the funny part about my card post is it is very heavy hockey right now.
Very heavy hockey
guy, very heavy. Yeah, it's probably like, you know, 75% hockey or 70% hockey. And
I'm gonna change that with my 50. Believe me.
If there's people who have basketball and football and poker, I don't care. Like, we want to fill up the other categories. But so it's pretty obvious that I'm a Boston guy. I love the Bruins. I'm big into collecting Pastrnak, Charlie McAvoy, Patrice Bergeron, Cam Neely. You know, these are my guys. Also, Big Poppy from the Red Sox, Pedro Martinez. These are a lot of the ones that I've got, you know, stashed away in my PC that you won't see on my card post.
Same.
You know, ones that I've locked away for my kids many years from now. But so that's what I got. I love the, you know, the OPC Platinum hockey sets. So I was trying to complete the rainbows there. I got the Pastrnak one completed minus the Golden Treasures.
Nice. I think I saw that on eBay.
The Golden Treasures Pastrnak rookie card.
I think so.
Oh man, you got to send it to me, because I know the guy who had it and it got stolen. So let's try to track that down.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Crazy story.
I swear. Maybe it wasn't his rookie. Maybe I gotta look. I'll look, because I think I have it saved, because I was like, ooh, because my other buddy, big into hockey, is big platinum guy as well. Yeah. And I remember saying, like, ooh, dude, look at this one. Or he sent it to me and said, you need this. One or the other. Like, I was like, I know I need it, but so I have so much money in the card account.
I was on, you know, I was trying to, like, you know, somewhat get my card post out there while I was building it, right? For like months and months and months. I didn't have anything to show anybody, but I was building it, and I was like, you know, but I was like a hockey guy. So I was like sharing my own personal collection on the business account, Instagram account.
Right.
So obviously, like, come launch day, the majority of the initial people who jumped right in were our hockey people. So that's where we're at, and that's why it is the way it is. But we're slowly chipping away at that percentage and getting the hockey card percentage down.
You know what? So I just as we got started here, because I had been meaning to check out the site, to sign up, to get on there, and this is all just based off JD's recommendations. And so while we've been talking and while you've been sharing a lot of the foundation of what we're going to talk about here, I signed up and I went ahead and I'm looking through this through the website, and it just hit me right now that like I'm literally sitting on like stacks, right? So I got stacks of cards. I've been opening up a lot of NBA hoops. I've been opening up a lot of you know, just retail stuff, you know, ripping normal stuff. And while I give away the majority of the base cards to the kids here in the local schools and stuff, because my wife's in education, so I have a good funnel there to get rid of like a lot of the base and stuff. But I keep, you know, the parallels, the good inserts and things like that I don't necessarily PC them, but they're really cool. Like you know, just colored variation rookie cards, stuff like that I don't want to give them to some kid. This is mine, you know. Right. And I'm like, I just don't know what to do with it, because I don't really want to list it on eBay, because it only goes for like $5 or $6. It's not really that big of a deal. But I just realized as I'm going through the website that I can like just snap a picture and put it up here. It doesn't have to be graded. I don't have to send it to you to be vaulted.
It's super easy.
It's super. And I'm looking at some.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good point.
It's
raw
great,
cards
dude.
are allowed too.
Raw cards are allowed. I'm gonna do my best to take some really good pictures. I got some good like lower end like Jaw rookies, Zion rookies, KPJ. I saw you had a couple of KPJs up there that I might throw you some offers on. But
the thing about it too, like you can take those and just stack them together for someone who wants them, you know,
like
and
a
go
bundle.
trade
Yeah.
up into a single card, a nicer card,
Right.
or someone can come on your page and be like, oh my, you got these 12 cards I would love. Like they can just load these 12 cards into an offer and make you an offer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Like,
let me ask you this, Mark. Let me ask you this, because what another thing I think is cool on your site, and it's just a subtle little thing, but with the shipping, you have the option to list your shipping. You can do free shipping, you can do shipping to the United States, but then you also have included shipping to Canada.
Yeah.
So now with hockey, for those of you that don't know, that's a large, or probably the largest market for hockey
a lot
cards.
of Canadians in the marketplace.
Yep. So when you, as being a guy in the States, do you have a price that you know is like fair to ship tracked, or something that if I were to list that in there, like I know I'm not going to have to like throw in $3 more, or the card's not going to get lost in like the Yukon somewhere? Like, do you know? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting. So there's a site that I've started to use. There's gonna be a shameless plug for them, but it's like VIP Parcel. And you know, you can use their flat mailer. I forget exactly what it's called. It's like flat mailer envelope thing, and it's like it can be like $5. Now the caveat is like the tracking's in the US only, and then once I think they hand it off to Canada Post, like it's no longer tracked, but it gets there. So that could just be like a $5 to $6 easy way to get, you know, maybe some of those inexpensive cards out there. But you know, some of the ones, if you're going to go straight to USPS and print a label, or like there's Shippo, you know, there's all these other.
Yeah, I use ShipStation.
Yeah, you're probably going to be in like the $14 range for something tracked.
Okay,
but it would be tracked door to door. You know, so there's a little give and take that you can do there. But yeah, and if anyone else who's listening has better
please share it in the comments,
please, because you know, it is one of the more tricky things where some people are like, I don't want to ship to Canada, it's too expensive. But that was an important thing for me, for this to be very much like US and Canada, and for the shipping to be, and by the way, I tried to integrate shipping and printing labels during the development phase, and it got really complex.
Really?
So I kind of pulled it.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got duties and taxes,
the
and
rates and stuff like that.
You know, it was like, whoa, trade values right now. Like, there's no money exchanging hands, but like you got to put a trade value on this.
On it.
It got really complex. So I was like, you know what? Let me just put this on hold for now. Let's get the site out there. Let's see if this thing even has legs, and then I can revisit that down the road. So,
I just like I've been on the site for what we're going on 30 minutes now.
Yeah,
and I just realized that when you hover over a card, it rotates.
Beautiful. I love that. I know. I love that.
It's the little stupid things for me that make so much sense.
I pay attention to those things, man. That's the kind of stuff, like ease of use, the UI, the user experience.
The
like
UI is everything.
Tried. It's not perfect, man. There's so many things I want to fix, but you know, they're good enough.
I can tell you right off the bat. I mean, it's so I have some experience in this professionally. That like the user interface, it's pretty intuitive.
Cool.
I've been able to very easily navigate everything. There hasn't been anything where I'm like, where is this? Where is that? You know, I immediately went down, and once again, we're going to change this as I start adding stuff in here. But I mean, not much left for my Houston Rockets, but that's okay. We're going to get some more stuff up here soon. But you know, just being able to click on everything. You know, some of these are. It's funny because like some of these are scans, but then some of these are, you know, like literally this guy took his picture right on the card stand.
Yeah,
you know, front and back. And again, that's just kind of what really made me smile right now, because I'm like, I have like this stack of stuff right here that I had no idea what to do with it, other than just let it sit in my card box. Like now I have an outlet for it, you know, which is great. Because, you know, so I love Arena Club. I've been on there, I've done trades, I bought, sold, and everything. But the one thing that's like kind of keeping me from putting more stuff on their platform is that like a lot of the cards that I would send over there are raw, and in order for me to get them onto their platform, I have to grade them with them.
Yep.
And so that's a bit of a deterrent for me, because it's $15 a card. Some of these cards ain't even worth that, right? And you know, to list them on eBay, you're going to get hit with that 13% on the back end. That's going to suck. It's just, you know, this is such a good outlet for folks like myself who have that stack of nice cards that I'm pretty sure somebody would like. But they're in the $5, $10, $15 range. And like you said, Mark, sorry, they can bundle these things together and go, hey, you got 12 cards over there that I really want. And you know, take a look at my stuff and see what we can make a trade for it. And that's,
well, you can trade, but they can also just buy those 12. They could put those 12 in an offer to you. And let's say all 12 is worth $100. They just load them up and say, would you take 80? And you're like, fun. Like, let's do it. You know,
right.
Yeah, you can accept the negotiation. I tried to make super easy to be able the ability to like send an offer, counter offer, you know, same as you'd expect, accept, reject, whatever, and add messages back and forth. JD, we've done with multiples together.
Yeah, and
so
you can like
this is the card that is not available for trade. So this, that's their.
Okay, not available. So I can only make them a cash offer or buy it.
This one you can only buy or make a cash offer for. And even for us, one of the features, I'll just let you know, one of the features I'm adding right now is the ability to mark specific cards in your inventory that you don't really want to trade, like you just want to sell. So to kind of take those off the table, because we've had experiences where I have a card like, look, I really want to sell this one, but I keep getting trade offers, and I'm like, sorry, man, like I'm trying to sell this one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm just going to make that a little easier and just kind of make a checkbox or something that just says, hey, this one's not available for trade.
I like that.
Because I kind of made these settings like global, like, hey, you're either someone who's open to trading or not. So it's like a profile toggle. You turn it, it's off by default. You turn it on. And same with like multi-card cash offers. It's a profile setting. Like you're either into it or you're not.
Right.
I think it's great because again, like we've talked about on here, and I hear it a lot on other channels and with people I talk to and things like that. You know, with the decline in card values over like really now, the last year and whatever 15 months we're into, the trading is still somewhere where you can maybe get a little bit more value for the card. You're not going to get full value of probably what you paid unless it's something that's highly desired or whatnot. Right. But like it just gives you that option to like, all right, if the card's only going for $100, maybe someone's willing to trade it at 150 if they really want it, or 125 or something like that.
But the other piece too, the fact that there is no fees and it's like a subscription, like you're able to keep so much more of your profit. If you sell it,
buy those last three, buy those, Omar. Buy all those right there.
Yeah, there you go. If you sell a card for $100, it's like $96.50 or something like something like that that you're going to get to keep of that $100. Where so it's like cards. It's the other beauty of it is that cards are purchased better for buyers. Buyers are able to buy them at better deals because they don't have to pay that fee-based premium on top of the card, and sellers at the end get more profit. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Correct.
Because everyone's always like, well, that's sold on eBay, but if you subtract the fees, it's worth it. And you just don't get into that here.
Yeah. Yeah. The Facebook. That's a standard on Facebook of well, on eBay it's going for 100, but I'll offer you 85.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you see guys doing that at shows all the time, right? Where they're going, they literally have a sign up there that says, I'm paying 80% comps.
Yeah.
Or I'm paying 70% comps. Whatever the comp is, I'll pay 70%.
Yeah.
Right. No negotiations. And so, I mean, and some folks will come up and they'll make that deal. Yeah. They need that gap. Right. Exactly.
Yep.
For the profit.
And on the trading too, the other beauty part is like, you could start a trade and like, you just can't get there. Right. The guy's like, I don't know. There's like, we're still like $40 short here. We're like, I'll just throw in the $40. Like, is the deal done? And it's like,
yeah, exactly.
So the ability to like do trades with cards and cash on either side of the deal really helps get those deals done. I mean, most of the trades I've done, it's like less than 5 back and forths, boom.
Done.
Yeah. It's fast and easy because there's no restrictions on your communication.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially when you can get to that $40 gap, and then maybe you throw out a $20 offer and they just might take it. Right.
Yeah. Or you just don't have a card that what they want. You don't have any more cards that the person wants. So it's like, hey, I'll just throw a couple bucks in here and let's get this done.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
No, I like it, man. Like I said, I'm hoping that other people that watch this say to themselves, you know what, this is cool. Let me give it a shot. Again, because like once you get the inventory on there and things like that, and again, I think it's just a more, marketing and whatnot. Like we know from our end too, right? Like marketing's not cheap. And sure, you can hit Instagram and Facebook and whatever, but marketing in general is not cheap. And
costs a lot
you
of
know,
money.
the best way to do it is word of mouth, right? Like, so, Omar trusts my opinion, I trust his opinion. So if I'm telling him, hey man, check this thing out, he's gonna do it, and then he's gonna tell, so like that
who are
piece
the
of it
people that
works well
Omar's,
too.
trust Omar's opinion. So it's like this, this it's gonna, it's one of those things where it creeps along, it grows, and then boom, you eventually hit this like tipping point where it takes off. And I'm excited to get there. And I've tried to like even think about that in the beginning in building this site, to have things in there to help kind of promote it, like share your transaction. There's a button to like download the images of the deal and share it on social media, and I'm going to add some stuff there. I've put in the ability, like an affiliate link, so if you're a member and you want to earn free months, all you got to do is just go invite people. For every 5 people that sign up,
get free months.
3 months. I mean, it could be free forever.
That's cool.
Nice.
Friends. So I've really tried to do that stuff because I do absolutely understand that this is going to be a word of mouth community. The community is going to push it forward.
Yep.
I like this right here.
Dollar in marketing or millions. It's going to be the same.
These shipping rates right here, where you can do, it's $4.25 for one, but for every additional card that somebody buys from whoever the hell this is.
Yeah.
That's me.
It's an extra $1. Yeah, I know it's you.
Yeah.
You're trying to unload that Tua.
Extra $1, man. Really? Come on.
Tua with the glass head.
Man, I just got an offer on eBay for that for $25. I was like, geez.
Take it.
Decline it. Take them. Bring them over here.
Yeah, well, I'm trying, man. I'm losing big time money on that card, so whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Whatever.
It's
whatever.
really.
I don't care.
Another one, big one is Cole Caulfield right now. Right, the injury is, prices are plummeting, and
yeah, you know what though? So like, thank God I'm such a homer with like the Bruins.
Me too.
Like I had like 1 or 2 of his cards that I just immediately get rid of. I can't do it. Hockey's tough for me, man, because like I love hockey, but I'm so dedicated to the Bruins.
Me too.
Like since I was like 6, and I generally have huge disdain for everybody else other than like Sidney Crosby,
especially the Canadians, right?
The Canadians, like the Flyers, like I'm not a big fan of like the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like I just don't. I don't like these teams. No, Stars aren't. They're not. Yeah. They're not really relevant.
There's never any like I can't remember any big Boston rivalry moments with the Stars.
No, well, Minnesota back in the day, maybe. But
maybe.
There was back in the 70s, like Stan Jonathan fought the whole bench. He challenged the whole bench to a fight, Omar.
What?
And, yeah.
Like one guy?
So like, Stan Jonathan. He's like 5'7", tough as nails, and he challenged the whole North Stars bench to a fight.
Dude,
like stood out in front of him. Was like, let's go.
I want that guy's rookie card.
He could throw hands, man.
PSA 10.
PSA 10. I need that guy's rookie card.
You gotta love those tough guys with personalities. I mean, speaking of the Bruins, like you just remember like PJ Stock, right? Every time
PJ Stock waved
to the crowd, like it was just. I mean, that guy was epic, right? Like that.
Remember that there was that fight he had. I think it was with a guy on the Capitals, and they counted, like did like a punch count. And they threw like 250 punches in 3 minutes or something.
So
like,
let me ask both of you a question, because both of you guys are really big hockey guys, and it's one of the things that's always like the mystique behind hockey is the fact that they let you fight, right? Yeah. Where did that start? Why do they do that? Why is it allowed? How is it? How is it that
that's a great question.
I mean, it is the NBA, tradition. The NFL, it's the NHL. But they literally let you fight on there. Where did that start? Why is that allowed?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. It's always been, dude. Back in the day, they used to fight with their sticks.
Come on.
Yep. Yeah, but imagine if they didn't allow fighting. What would happen to your best players?
They'd get run.
They still have all their teeth. Is what would happen?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but a part of it, I think, is like you think about like Gretzky, right? Like if you ran Gretzky and like tried to take him out, like you're gonna get pummeled.
Yeah, somebody was coming for you.
Mechanism.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
so fighting isn't like a rule. There's nothing about fighting in the rules. It's more just like
it's unwritten rules. Unwritten. Like you go after our dog.
Yeah. Like these, like they're sitting there on the face-off, like, "Hey man, you want to go?" He's like, "Fine, I'm a little tired tonight, but okay, let's go." And then they're like, "Great fight." Some of them love it, some of them probably hate it, but it's like an unspoken code of the league.
Like you hit a guy cheap into the boards or something or across the ice, now your head's on a swivel for the rest of the game because they're looking for you. You know.
So let me put this in basketball terms, okay?
Yep.
If you guys remember, I think JD, we watched this on one of the podcasts where Zion with like 10
did his
seconds
dunk.
left.
Yep.
Yeah, I
With
remember,
like
I
10
saw
seconds
that,
left, they're like up 25 points. And the last possession, he does the 360 windmill dunk and kind of did a little showboaty. You know, some people didn't really like that. They didn't take too kind to. So basically, if that would have something like that would have happened in hockey, that's a fight on site.
That's a bad day. Yeah, you're gonna have a bad day. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on a goal,
Maybe
I
not
don't
in that
know.
moment. Maybe
Not-
later,
yeah.
like the next game.
Like I'll tell you know what's a big no-no? The horn blows and then the guy shoots the puck at the goalie. That will start a fucking riot.
Really?
Oh my God, yes.
Or if you snow the goalie, you know, you go in there and he's crazy. You know, I play hockey as well, so
that will start a riot.
Wow.
And if you remember back in the day, it'd be in like the paper. Remember, like they would have like tape to tape, right? Or like tail of the tape for the because something happened like 6 weeks ago in the game, and they're like playing them again 6 weeks later. I mean, it was like like these two, like the moment the puck drops, these two are gonna fight. And so it's
like wait, you said the moment the puck drops?
The puck they would go out there, even if they were like fourth line bangers, they would start the game, drop the puck, and they would just drop their gloves and go. Yeah.
That's savage. I don't know, man. There's so much things that I would like to get into about hockey, and the fighting piece of it is just one. I thought it was something in the rules that had to do with like, hey, you know, get your lick back kind of thing. I guess not.
I'm telling you right now, Mark, I've told this to Omar like 50 times now. Go to a playoff Dallas Stars game.
Yeah.
You'll never not watch hockey again. Like you will be sucked in for the rest of your life because there's nothing.
Do they make it to the playoffs? Are they good enough to make it to the
Stars?
Years ago they were close, man. Right?
Yeah, didn't they win the cup a few years ago?
I forget.
I know you're asking the wrong guy, Bucko.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but
they were good for a little bit there.
Yeah, I think they won a cup. I'm gonna have to Google this now.
I'll have to check. Yeah, that was
that's gonna
I'm
bug the hell
Googling.
out of me.
But yeah, so anyway, let's see.
Hockey's
Stanley
great,
Cup,
man.
98-99.
Yeah.
I think they were in the Stanley Cup Finals like 3 or 4 years ago or something, and then maybe they didn't win. They must have lost. Probably one of those Tampa Bay championships.
Yeah, so
but that's the beauty of hockey. Even in sports cards, like it's one of the only markets where it's increased. You know, the market's gone up, right? You guys probably have the data on that, but everything else is kind of tanked a little bit, and hockey's like just keeps chugging along, growing little by little.
Yep. Yeah, so it's like
2019-2020 conference champions.
Yeah, that was probably the year.
So Mark, tell like what's your background? Are you a tech guy by day and you know like hey, I'm gonna go do this? Like how did this all kind of come into your head? Because to me, it sounds like you're pretty techie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do have a tech background, so you know, I did kind of like I've done some technical stuff. So I'm mainly like in sales, you know. So my day, so I don't do this is not full time for me. This is lots of nights and weekends and early mornings, you know, and you know, placing it in between here and there. But I do sales, but I do kind of come from a technical sales background. So I've been like the technical person in a sales team, and then over the years, I kind of migrated and became the actual, you know, salesperson. So yeah, I do a lot of like I do cloud security sales by day, and I've done a lot of like you know, cloud and computer networking and type technology stuff over my whole career. So yeah, I do kind of get it a little bit. And I have a mind for, you know, kind of that stuff like solving problems and things of that nature. So that has definitely helped me throughout this journey, because there was a lot of like iteration, and we're like, man, this is like, these are complex scenarios. Like, how do you solve these? You know, and you got to just like iterate through them.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So
now, is your team? Is it just you, or how many people are there involved in the operation?
Yeah, so it's mainly me right now. I have a couple people that help me, you know, with like content and things of that nature. It's super helpful. I have a development team, so they do all the development work for me. But you know, I'm usually working pretty closely with them in the evenings, kind of, you know, just getting things lined up and whatnot. Yeah, very small right now. You know, but I look forward to, you know, getting to a point where this can grow and be a sustainable business, and to have people, you know, that can be in here full time, you know, serving the community, because that's really what it's all about.
Yep. Yeah,
Right
and
on.
it's I think too, like some people out there that watch these and don't necessarily understand the
The
actually how
grind,
much time and energy and
yeah,
effort and
thought,
money, like one of the nice things about us, we're self-funded. We
same.
haven't taken a dollar from anybody, and
Yep.
we never will, as far as into Card Hedge.
Yeah,
Um, unless somebody wants to buy us, but other than that,
right.
but
Holy
yeah,
shit.
no, it's one of those things, man, where it's like when things start to click, and then people start to like, oh, like we like this, and then you're looking at this, and it's really rewarding, like
It is.
because you're trying when you're trying to do something for the right reasons. Um, People generally start to sniff that stuff out, and yeah, no,
Takes no life to
like I
swim.
said, I wish you the best, man, because I do think it's something that was greatly needed in
Yeah,
this hobby, in this space, whatever you want to call it. And so far, like I said, I think that there's been nothing but positives.
yeah.
Well, I guess one question would be this, right? This is something too I know people would want to know. I buy a card from Omar, it never arrives. How does that get resolved?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, it's a very good question. So part of it, again, the idea behind it, this is a community of trusted members. So, the philosophy is that, look, 99.9% of the people that are going to be in here are going to be people that are paying for the ability to do that kind of deal, number one.
Yep.
Mm,
So the probability is going to be very low. But to the point where, I don't know, maybe it is catastrophic. You definitely, hopefully, ideally, that you guys could work the dispute out amongst each other. It could be
hmm
a personal thing that prevented you from putting the card in the mail, but you have every intention of doing it and
Right.
making right on the deal, would be one. But not to say that I'm immune to someone getting in here and trying to be fraudulent in some way. And we're going to catch those people very quickly, and their accounts are going to be suspended because, again, like
Yeah.
$9 a month subscription. Like I don't care. Like, go away.
Right.
The ethics of the community and the trust of the community is worth a million
Way
times more
more.
than that
Yeah.
person's revenue. So it's like you're going to be gone, no questions asked.
And then
But
also too, right, with the PayPal, it's essentially basically the same as the goods and service payment, correct?
exactly, dispute the
Yeah.
charge. Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's not friends and family. It is, that's why the fee is there, right? You're paying for
Well,
that
so that's good.
payment
That's good for
protection.
people to know.
But on the
Well,
trades,
not
you
only
bring up a
that.
good point, though. It's like that's also part of it about building relationships, doing your due diligence, seeing who
hmm
this person is. You're doing a deal. Do a small deal first, right? Don't go
Right.
Right.
$5,000
Right.
trade value day one. Like, hey, like we've done, JD. We did like maybe
Yeah.
$40 cards back and forth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
then the cards
Yep.
arrive, and the whole idea is that you're going to make friends and you're going to
Yeah.
do tons of deals with the same people,
Agreed.
Right.
Not only
right?
that, but I think the business model that you have of the subscriptions sort of weeds out some of that, right? Because the really fraudulent stuff is the least effort stuff, right? Like where I can just come
Right.
in, sign up for free, load a bunch of BS, and then just hope somebody sends me $500 for a Michael
Right.
Jordan PSA 6,
Yeah.
Yeah.
86 Fleer, and then I just never send the card and keep their money, right?
No,
But
yeah.
that paywall, which sometimes has a negative connotation to it, people have to realize that does weed out a lot of the riffraff.
Right.
If I'm going to pay $9 a month, I'm here to do business, right? I'm here to set up some reputation. I'm here to create some business deals with people and create, be part of the community, right?
You hit the nail on
And
the head. That's exactly that. Like, I'm paying for this privilege, and I know I'm doing a deal with someone who has also paid for the same privilege because you got to put a credit card down, right? And
Yep.
the scammers, they're gonna stay on social because it's free. And for me, like, it's free to join my site, but you'd have to pay for the card in order to do a
Right.
deal. So like the scammers aren't gonna come in and create free accounts and buy a bunch of cards. Like, they're gonna want
Right.
receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think another thing too, right? And we get right into like talking cards and everything else, which happens. Walk us through the different subscription levels, like
Yeah.
so the free account to the paying for the year. Like
Yeah, so we have
is
4. So there's 14. Well, so there's the free account, again, buy
Yep.
only. You can't sell anything, you can't list any cards, you can't do any trading. Again, that you're a free person, so you're not trusted yet, really, at the end of the
Yep.
day. And then we have I think you might be pulling it up right now.
Yep.
So we have monthly and annually subscriptions. Right now, there's an amazing offer right now. I got for the next 50 people, which there's probably only 30 something left, 85% off the annual subscription. But really, the only difference between the basic, the pro, and the all-star is just the number of active listings you can have on the site at any given time. So for basic, once you hit 50 and you try to add 51, it'll be say, sorry, you need to upgrade your subscription.
You need to upgrade.
If you sell one card, you can add a new one, right? You can stay under that 50 mark. So it's really just the number of cards that you can have on the site at any given time is the main differentiation.
Gotcha. So can you only load 50, or can you load more than 50 and only have 50 active?
Right now it's only load 50. Once you try to add a 51st, it will give you
it'll cut you off.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And I think it's interesting because I view myself like, hey, I'm mostly a Boston guy. I'm not that crazy. I'm basic is probably like my profile. Immediately, I was like, I hit 51 and got my error message for myself. I'm like, well,
yeah.
I needed and I think a lot of people would experience that. Like,
right here.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna go through 50 in a minute.
Yeah.
And you quickly realize like, hey, I'm better off in the pro, which I am. I think I probably have like 300 something cards on the site. Gotcha. But with that number of cards means I get a lot more deals and proposals sent over to me because there's more things for people to look at. So, and even still at $29 a month, again, it's like one deal, $200 worth of cards a month, and it pays for itself. For one trade, it pays for itself.
Yeah, of course.
Now, have you thought about, because again, this is just something that I from dealing like I sell a lot of cheaper, like less than $1 type cards on buysportscards.com.
Yeah.
Have you thought about, because I think this is key. Like if I want to sell this stupid Sean Monahan blue border OPG card, I'm going to list it for 75 cents or $1, whatever the hell it is. I need to be able to somehow be able to print that label like Buy Sports Cards has, like eBay has, where like you get that, even if you just keep it in the United States,
white envelope,
that PWE type thing. Have you reached out to anybody, whether it's the post office, whether it's whoever, ship station, and talked about, hey, what can we do as far as, offering my customers, these services?
I have. Yeah. And like I said, I was going down this path. I was building this, I was going to have like the Shippo type integration with the platform because they're mega buyers, right? So they get these discounted rates. It was in there, but it was, it got complicated. I have it's kind of a curse, right? The fact that I have all this flexibility and all these different ways of doing deals and trades that no other marketplace has.
Yeah.
But then I quickly realized that it really complicates the ability to have integrated prepaid shipping labels. So
gotcha.
I for launch again, to just test, this is basically like an MVP product, right? Like to test the idea. I took it out. It was just like, hey, people, you can create your own Shippo account, which is what I've done, right?
Right.
And you can still get the same benefits, but you're kind of printing your own labels at that point until I can solve this problem, which, I'm going to try to do, but
it's
going to be a little bit further.
Because I do know, like, that would be just one thing, like where I would caution people about listing, you probably want to list something where the first class type thing makes sense. So whether you're going to, like, for me, it might be do a 10 card lot instead of one card and charge the first class. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I just stacked up. I think it was like 115 Young Guns. Just, not the most expensive ones. Right? I just stacked them all together. Now this is something I could do better on the site.
Did you buy that lot off that guy? Was that you? Did you buy that lot off that guy on Facebook? I think it was Facebook. No. The guy was selling that.
No, it was just, it was a hockey guy. You just, you're opening packs. It's exciting to do with my kids. Right? Open packs. And
so stuff you pulled.
Yeah, just a bunch of Young Guns. And like, what do I do with these? They're worth $1. They're worth 75 cents. I just stacked them together and I traded them for 2 cards, all of them together. So that's kind of what it was. I think the lots would be a better approach. And I'm probably going to make some tweaks to the marketplace around loading up lots, because I think that's another way for you to stack 20, 30, 40 cards together and move them at one time, as opposed to try to sell them 75 cents each.
So that functionality isn't there now?
It is there, but it's like it's repurposing the existing workflow. You just choose that, hey, these are raw cards, and you just take lot pictures like everyone does on like Facebook, and you just list it, right? You don't have to
because right now I'm sitting on a bunch of Chet Holmgren rookie cards. Right.
Ooh, there you go.
You know, and I'd like to move them all as a lot. And
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
load them up as a lot. I have a
You
couple
know
of
what?
lots on there.
You know what would be cool, Mark? And I'm not like I've learned quite a bit over the last 3 years, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But would be cool, like, you know, on Instagram when you go to post cards and you click that little button and it allows you to add more cards to either your post or whatever. That would be cool in a lot feature. If I had 10 cards I could scan, click them, and then it stacks them, you know, like that. That way, because sometimes you know how people get, and I'm guilty of it too. You put your cards out and you got your camera and you're like, you know, the lights reflecting off the top loader, and you're like, like, what is that card? You know, I think that would be a nice way to allow people to post those lots in a kind of clean, organized manner where it'd be like, huh, this makes sense.
So I'm thinking about these things, and I'll even take it a step further. So the other thing is I want to solve for, and I don't have this figured out yet, is like bulk upload. Like, because a lot is one thing, but you know, like, Omar, you got 50, 100 cards right there. You want to be able to like take pictures, you know, maybe stack them in a spreadsheet, edit everything, feel really good, and then boom, click a button, and boom, all of them.
It's all uploaded. Yeah, something in a CSV format type thing.
Yeah, or yeah. I don't want to speak too much about exactly how to solve it because I don't have it all quite figured out. But these are all things like, you know, that big long list of features that I love to build and add, because I just want to make it super, super easy for people to load cards. Because if there's not tens of thousands of cards in here, no one's going to come, right? No one's going to pay a subscription for a marketplace that doesn't have any cards, right? And it's been great. In 2+ months, you know, we're already over 2,100 or something. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So once it gets 5,000, 10,000, you know, now we're really talking.
Correct. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more, man.
Well,
listen, I think we definitely have to do a hard stop here because my man's we will you know, thanks for having us on. Why don't you you know, plug your channels, plug where people can find you and whatnot, you know. Go, this is your time.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so I mean, obviously it's mycardpost.com. You know, you can go on there, join. Again, most people like just create a free account, just maybe explore the platform, and if you like it and you want to get more into it, you can always upgrade. But it'd be great to just create that free account to start. On Instagram it's mycard_post, and then on Facebook and Twitter it's, you know, @mycardpost, you know, all together. So that's where you can find us. My personal one is @MarkHillCards. I don't really do too much on my personal Instagram, but you know, that's another one where you can get me doing.
We'll make sure to put everything down in the description, all the links and everything to.
Cool. Thank you. And I'm available on either. If people want to DM the My Card Post, that, you know, that's me responding to you. So
cool.
Awesome.
Cool, man. Well, listen, we'll
awesome.
Yeah, we'll do this again, and you know, like I said, good luck, and you know, I'm a big fan. It looks like Omar's
I'm in.
Found a new toy.
I'm in, bro. Look, I'll tell you what did it for me right now. Look, I put in my Retro Hoops logo, but then it immediately went to the ketchup and mustard Rockets old school uniform type stuff. Yellow background. Yeah. So that plucked at my heartstrings. So I'm in now.
I love it. Look, you got your YouTube channel. Where else can you do that? Build a profile and share everything about you. You know.
I got the YouTube channel in there. I got my Facebook. I got the Facebook group. I got the Twitter. I got the Instagram. So that this one will take me right.
You gotta put the card hedge link in there too, you dumb bastard.
That's right. I did.
That's the thing I don't have, which is the ability to add more than one. But maybe it's a good use case.
Oh, God damn it!
Now you have to choose between YouTube or card hedge. So, but
I put card hedge
covered.
Yeah. I put card hedge in there. Don't worry.
Look at my eBay profile. Look at that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. I like it.
Thank you. I'm excited. The feedback from the community has been incredible. Like, honestly, you know, you could say probably you guys experience this too. You're a little nervous when you go live, right? When you launch this thing,
for sure.
What's the feedback going to be?
Yep.
And man, I was just blown away. People love it. I'm super excited, and it's going to be fun.
Well, you got a good product, man. There's no wonder you're getting good feedback, and we wish you the best. And we appreciate you taking the time to kind of walk us through everything. Like I said, I'm in. I'm hooked. So the next couple of days,
we'll have you on. We're
going to beef up those basketball numbers.
Yep. Sounds great.
On again for sure. All right, brother. Well,
thanks,
until
guys.
the next one. Yeah, thank you, man.
You bet.
Appreciate everybody watching, everybody listening. Remember, all the links are in the description. Everything's going to be there. All of Mark's links, the link to My Card Post is going to be there. All of our links, JD's links, my links, everything's there. If you guys want to check it out, hit the like button, subscribe, give us comments, give us some feedback. Any questions that you have for Mark,
Yeah.
we'll definitely try to bring them up next week. And thanks again, Mark. We appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.
Thanks everybody. Peace.
Later. Bye.